everyone. This is Luca Majno. We're back with Frank Gregory Ford. This is Global News Update on TLBTV, where we give you complete backstage, up-to-date info as to the developments occurring in this world today. As Greg does his hair, we're getting ready here. We have a lot to talk about. We have about 2 hours of material in this show, but of course, we have to keep it between 15 minutes and a half hour.
Right.
And in our last show, I brought up the question of how desensitized people are and to what extent. And to be very blunt, this photo that we're showing now is a prime example of what I will use this week to drive the subject home, be it Mossad, North Korea, or Blackwater. I cannot understand how how people could be so immune to feelings. This is an Israeli officer that just, he's having coffee right in front of the Palestinian schoolgirl that he just executed. And does the word psychopath ring a bell somewhere? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What we're going to do is we're going to have something called SNAPSHOT. And SNAPSHOT is going to be my little, what do you call it? My little push for things to make us think about. Some of the best posts that we ever had, that I've ever seen, that really caught me and helped me a lot. And it's just to be able to look at them and to really bring our message home. And there's a good example of that in my next image I'd like to show that speaks about how many guns we have in the United States. Okay, in 1941, someone by the name of Japanese Admiral by the name of Yamamoto said you cannot invade mainland America. There would be a rifle behind every blade of grass. And this is really true. So today, according to the statistics of September 22nd, 2016, 3% of Americans own half the country's 265 million guns. Overall, Americans own an estimated 265 million guns, more than one gun for every American adult, according to that study done by Harvard and Northwestern University. So it makes you think, we have another one that I'd like to show with the caption that reads, "I don't care if you beat me, insult me, lock me up, or kill me for speaking the truth. If I continued to exist within this current paradigm, knowing what I know, but refusing to speak out, I'm already a dead prisoner anyway."
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, what happens is if we have knowledge like we have, and we don't speak out, we're not only deserving of what's coming to us, but we're enabling it. So it's something to think about. Then you have Rothschild. I couldn't resist this one. "Yes, we planned to take everything you own, murder most of you, and enslave the remaining few." Pretty funny, huh? Okay, so this is the way I wanted to start our show. It's called Snapshot, and it's going to be very, very accurate. Every single show from now on, what I'd like to do is show different pictures that really hit me and that really make sense and that really drive the message home as far as how far off America is from where we should be. And Greg is the perfect example to weigh in on that. Greg, welcome to the show again.
Well, thank you, Luca. As you say, if you sit still and don't say anything and don't protest, what everyone knows. I mean, if you're older than 3 years old, you know what is right and wrong. All right. The problem is that our conditioning, like what I saw with our military in Iraq. Okay, just for example. Okay, it went on in Vietnam. It's gone on. In World War II, it's gone on. But the problem is that we have something called career and self-interest. Okay, and believe me, the powers that be understand that better than most. All right, so when you do stand up and do something right, believe me, you're certainly helping to keep things honest. You're helping to keep, if there is such a thing as war, being honest. All right, where you don't need to have 100 years of follow-on bad juju, bad karma, recidivist history following you. Okay, I mean, look what's coming out now. Okay, about the U.S. military and its behavior. All right, back in World War II. Okay, I mean, and now we find out, hey, one of the true American aviation heroes, Amelia Earhart, was sacrificed. Okay, sacrificed to keep things quiet so we could spy on the Japanese, our business competitors. All right, and we knew that World War II was coming. Just ask our intelligence groups. And so we sacrificed her. We sacrificed the whole ideal. We sacrificed the U.S. government's integrity with the American people. All right. It's just coming out now. Okay. Yes. And we sacrificed even all the military people. How many, 500,000 military people died because special interests wanted to keep things quiet. Right. So guess what? Okay. You see something wrong, you need to speak out. All right. Don't sit there and say, oh, my career, I've got a career. That's what Hillary Clinton said with Bill. Okay. Bill, who's now delusional, dying. Okay. He's dying. And funny thing, you haven't seen him in the media lately. It's because he can't be in the media. All right. He's busy trying to absolve his soul for all the things that he did. And what Hillary is doing now. He's determined to stop Hillary. Okay, that's what this has all led to. Okay, let me start off something, since we have so much to cover here.
Yeah, okay. Really.
All morning long, I've been fielding calls. Okay, and hey, we'll start out with something that everyone can relate to. North Korea, that tiny little blip, okay, that little hermit kingdom. Okay, yes, they've got their problems, they've got their issues. When you look at it on a larger scale, their issues are just like our issues. The megalomaniac leaders, nobody wants to say anything to King about his clothes. Murderous regime. The only difference is that, hey, Kim Jong-un murders his people right on ground. We murder millions of people all over the world. Okay, so here, I've got something for you, America. So I got your attention now, hopefully. All right, and listen to this. This is a classic condition of the tail wagging the dog. What does Donald Trump know about the military or military operations or anything except ripping people off with all his schemes? Okay, no question about that. He does a good job, obviously. Okay, but the thing is, here we are, making war with North Korea, and I'm sorry, what did they do? They wanted to get something for their own protection. And Kim Jong-un has a point here, is that, look, they're tiny. They can't defend themselves. The only thing they have to protect themselves from Western hegemony, okay, the running dogs of the West, okay, is a nuclear threat, okay? I mean, didn't we tell this to Iran, all right? And look where we're at with Iran. And look how many people we've killed with our weapons of mass technology when it comes to Iran. Okay, what, 1.5 million? Just ask Mr. Bush. He sold all the weapons, to the Iraqis. And didn't we sell? What was it? It was the neutron bomb. Okay, the components of a neutron bomb to Iran. Surprise. Guess what? You don't think that the Iranians are smart enough to get their own nuclear weapons and make them? Ha, ha, ha. Boy, have I got a surprise for you, folks. Boy, does our administration have a surprise for you. they couldn't put components of a neutron bomb together. Remember Jimmy Carter? You know, the famous wipes out the people and leaves the building standing. Okay. Well, hey, that's what we have here right now. Okay. We've got a country that has a nuclear weapon. They've got submarines. All right. They've been testing our SOSUS system, our underwater submarine system, security system, the last 5 days. Okay. They've been testing our what is it called? Anti-ICBM missile systems. Okay. Because they have to protect themselves. It's just that simple. Who's put that mindset into their heads? It's America, all right? Not South Korea. You know, and by the way, South Korea wants them to continue, wants them to live. Do you think they want to spend a gazillion trillion won to rebuild North Korea when they get it? If all of a sudden it drops in their laps? Look at West Germany. Look what happened with Germany when it reunited. All of a sudden, they found themselves with a country that was 50 to 100 years behind the times, and they had to spend a gazillion trillion Deutschmarks, okay, to try to get it up to a standard of living, a normal Western living. You think the South Koreans are stupid? No, they're not. I've worked with the South Korean military. I worked with the South Korean intelligence. I know how they are thinking. I know how they behave. They don't want North Korea back. They really don't want it. All right. So what we have here is a big excuse to try to figure out how to bail Donald Trump out of trouble. Okay. Yes, he's in trouble. Yes, he wants to divert attention. That's what we have going on. Okay. I was able to do a quick check on China today. No, they don't want anything to happen with North Korea. Believe me, that's like a ailing relative for them. Okay, they just don't want anything on their border. That's trouble. Okay, South Korea doesn't want it for obvious reasons. Russia, oh boy. Well, Russia, well, they might. Okay, to test new weapon systems. Who's going to test their weapon systems other than North Korea? Pakistan. Now there's the rub. Pakistan. They're the same folks that give you ISI spying in Washington, D.C., courtesy of Hillary Clinton. Okay? And they definitely don't want anybody going into North Korea, because you'll find out all of those components that they use to make their bombs, guess where they came from? Okay, I know their missiles look like something out of Flash Gordon. Okay? But hey, here's the fact, folks. AQ Khan, all right? I mean, what is it? Quetta Khan, okay? You know, that famous scientist who's supposed to be under house arrest. Oh boy, hurt me. He's under house arrest. Wow, gosh, okay? Yes, he put their whole nuclear program together. And the thing is that it's annoying the Bush family. You always got to find out what annoys the Bush family, is that North Korea is capable of selling weapons, any kind of weapon system now, around the world, terrorist groups, okay? Uh-oh, gosh, gee, that sounds just like the Bush family, the Bush crime family again, okay? Why does this keep happening? Who do those people think they are in North Korea? Inhibit the Bush family money-making mechanisms, okay? Yeah, you've got it. Okay, so let's see. What else do I have for you, folks? Oh, this came in this morning. Remember Mr. Bin Laden? Osama bin Laden? Who could forget that name? Didn't he give us the 9/11 attacks? The World Trade Center? Oh, folks, it appears that no, he didn't. Okay, no, he wasn't responsible. But hey, that's okay, because he died very shortly after 9/11. All right, he died when he was being treated by CIA doctors. Okay, don't believe me. Don't believe me. Okay, go sit there in your little love wombs that the government has spun for you, and go ahead and sit there and assume that that's not the truth. Okay, because guess what? just like World War II. Oh, we didn't know the Japanese were coming. Oh, yes, we did. Wink, wink. Okay. Well, guess what? You know, the Bush family, of course, the Rothschild family, all of those families all got together and said, hey, what would happen if we went after the biggest fat hog in the whole world? The biggest fat hog that we need to carve up? Okay, it's the United States, folks. They tried once with a bunch of goofballs to set off a bomb in the basement on the World Trade Center, and it didn't work. And what did Bill Clinton do, by the way, when that happened? Well, we got to take a long, hard look at this. Okay, he did nothing, all right? That told the whole world what would happen if they did it again, okay? So what we have here now is Mr. Osama bin Laden really was not killed in Pakistan. What was it? Abbottabad, Pakistan? He wasn't really killed there. A cobbler, okay? A cobbler by the name of Akbar Khan, okay? Akbar Khan was set up, okay? And the truth is now coming out. All the investigations. And if you don't believe me, look at the USS Carl Vinson, the aircraft carrier that launched the attack, okay? Launched supposedly the raid that killed bin Laden. Find out what's going on. Find out what's been going on in the Carl Vinson. Okay, they seem to be having some problems keeping secrets. You know, things just aren't the way they used to be, okay? Especially when, you know, the Bush family was running things. Hey, you just have people killed. You know, it's now if we'd had Hillary become president, we could go back to that because she's killing a person a week, murdering a person a week. But hey, the Carl Vinson, they've had more court-martials on the Carl Vinson in secret than any other of all the ships combined, than any other floating unit we have. The Carl Vinson has court-martialed more people over what? Talking about a body that didn't arrive on the Carl Vinson, talking about a body that wasn't kicked over the side, okay, and then this make-believe investigation, you know, about DNA going on in Pakistan. Okay, really? Oh my goodness. It appears, yes, that our government has pulled another fast one. Remember the picture with Obama and all the people watching the operation happening? Uh-oh, they didn't really do that, okay? I mean, this is getting more bizarre and more bizarre all the time. We need to have a great big high colonic enema, okay, in this country. A great big one, okay? Forget, you know, what is it? Rehydrating terrorist suspects forcibly with a high colonic, okay? Isn't that wonderful? That is deep humanity. When the CIA, the big thing that they can point to in counterterrorism is that they're not really torturing people by shoving a water hose up their rectum and filling them up with water. Actually, by the way, that was their big claim to humanity and doing good things for the terrorists, okay, to keep them alive. Well, that was a Nazi torture. Where do you think they got that from? Jesus, people, wake up. Wake up, America. Okay, we need to have a great, big, high colonic, okay? In fact, I think the next person that runs for the presidency of the United States should be a proctologist, okay? And that should be a mandatory issue. It's everyone gets a colonic enema because this crap has gone on for so long, okay? And people are just used to it. They're used to being constipated with government lying, bureaucratic bullshit, okay? You know, absolutely. Okay, by the way, I always wondered why a friend of mine, okay, and I can hear the twittering and tweeting going on right now, okay, a friend of mine, Jean Palfrey, the AKA the DC Madam, remember? Well, hey, one thing I learned in the intelligence business, folks, you know, a guy won't tell a guy anything. anything. You can set one guy on fire and he won't tell the other guy anything. Guess what? You put a pretty woman in bed with him, they will say anything. They will do anything to keep her attention. All right. Jean Palfrey knew this, and she knew this with Dick Cheney. Okay, excuse me. Let me get that name correct. Dick the Shitter Cheney. Okay. Remember him? Everybody remember Dick the Shitter Cheney? Well, everybody wonder why they called him the Shitter. Okay. Hey, didn't I just say we need a proctologist? We'll call him the Grand Proctologist. Okay, for America, for the next president, to first of all decongest our legal system. Okay, boot out all these illegal judges. You know, these bought off mafiosi-owned judges that we have. Okay, yes, and restore our legal system to what it is, a fabulous, fantastic system that has been refined and getting better all the time. No thanks to all these little pimped out excuses called lawyers. All right, that's what we have here. We have a system right now, okay, that is happening that needs to be purged. And Gene knew exactly what was going on with 9/11. All right, care to ask? You know, and you're wondering probably how I knew this. Mohammed Gul, name ring a bell out there in radio land, okay, the head of ISI intelligence. Well, how would somebody like Jean Palfrey, the DC madam, know all about the intimacies that Mr. Gull talks about, okay, like 9/11 and the ordering and cross-typing and matching up of personnel for 9/11. Getting it, people, getting it. You've been sold a bill of goods. You're being sold a bill of goods, and you're going to be sold a bill of goods if you don't start firing. I don't mean asking. I don't mean being pleasant about. I mean firing and throwing into prison these these lame excuses we've got for politicians that have sold us out, can't wait to sell us out, and are going to sell us out every chance they get until something is done. All right? And I mean kick them out of office, physically walk them to the street with their little box of little memorabilia and throw that and them into the street. That's what we have to do.
What did George H.W. Bush say, by the way? If the American people knew what we have done to this country and what we have done to the world, they would chase us down the streets and lynch us?
Well, no, they would lynch us from the nearest lampposts.
Something like that, yeah. I think I'm showing that meme as we speak. And there's another meme that I have to throw at you before we leave here. It's from the movie The Matrix. And it's really, it's exactly what you just talked about. The system invests so much time and energy into keeping you weak because it actually fears your power and your potential. I thought that was absolutely awesome, because that's exactly what's happening.
By the way, let the people of Nigeria know, I found out this morning, let the people of Nigeria know they are not going to get their several hundred daughters that were taken by ISIS. Let them know they're not going to get their daughters back. All right? Their daughters have been sold into slavery. All right? I got that this morning. Okay, and guess who was putting the idea into ISIS' head? Okay, Hillary Clinton.
How did I know that?
Who else? Who else? Okay, you know, slavery, human trafficking, pedophilia, murder. I mean, didn't I tell you folks how her old chef, okay, was killed? All right. Okay. By the way, check out the poison. Ricin, okay? RICIN, all right? Guess what? Cascading effect, and most of the post-forensics, okay, can't reveal it because it's diminished in the metabolic system, okay? So you get no trace of organ failure origins, okay? So that's what we have here. Okay, and by the way, one closing note. Guess who else showed up in Washington getting orders, okay, and being conditioned and trained to fly? Mohammed Atta, A-T-T-A. I'll spell that out for the IG who conveniently forgot how to spell Atta, okay, when the investigation was going on. Mohammed Atta. And do you think that these people showed up? People, I want to look the U.S. right in the eye and say, look, do you think Mohammed Gul and Mohammed Atta showed up, okay, and didn't talk to these girls, okay, that they were with, these women that they were with? They were spilling their guts. This is one thing I told you about. A man can't keep his mouth shut around a woman, okay, especially a blonde woman, okay. Forget it. Doesn't happen. They, you know, you could set them on fire and they wouldn't tell another man anything. But hey, as I've found time and time again, they will spill their guts to talk to a pretty blonde woman. Guess what they did, folks? They told us, they told those women in Washington, they told everybody that was female that would listen to them, okay, what they were doing with 9/11 and when they were going to attack and what they were doing, okay, and how they were going to do it. And funny, sneak a peek at Mossad. Who does Mossad work most intimately with? ISI. Okay, all right. That's why we have pictures of Mossad master blasters, demolition engineers sitting in the World Trade Center priming their charges. Okay, does it get any simpler? Can I make it any simpler than any of this, Luca? All right.
Well, you know what? Next week, we're next show, we're also going to talk about. It must be around the 70th or between 70 and 80th naturopathic doctor that that dies, and he dies in Boulder, Colorado, I believe it is. We're going to be talking about a little bit about that on the next show also, and why. How come all these anti-vaccine naturopathic doctors just disappear and are dying left, right, and center, especially in Florida, because they don't adhere to big pharma. That's why. We're going to be talking about that on the next show. Greg, thank you so much for another edition.
Okay, you're welcome, and you're welcome to the listeners. Hey, and let's get some call-in questions. I'd love to answer some questions about all of this, including the naturopaths, okay, who are dying. All right, yeah. Okay, and we'll get to the bottom of all these people being Arkancided. Okay, there's homicide. Okay, there's fratricide, and now we've got a new word in our lexicon, a new adverb. Okay. It's called being Arkancided. All right. I've got to warn the American people about being Arkancided. It's happening in a epidemic. All right. Thank you, Luca.
Yeah. We'll talk to you next time on The Muppet Show.
My pleasure.
Have a good one.